Anyway, my dad came home. I guess he was coming home from work, and I believe everyone was hiding. And then at some point, we popped out and said surprise. I remember his face was kind of confused, and of course he smiled because it was his kids.
Yeah.
But I remember him looking kind of confused. And I also remember being with my Baba outside at one point before my dad got home, and him just kind of being off. Like, I remember feeling that as a kid. Like, I don't know. But my Baba was around us a lot. He helped my dad and my mom out a lot. He was a great man. But after that, so fast forward, that my mom told me about the divorce. And so after she told me, she says, do you feel like it's your fault? And I remember thinking, why would it be my fault? Like, I remember thinking that at 7. Why?
That's a weird thing to tell a 7-year-old.
Yeah, why would it be my fault that they got divorced? I guess Donna told her, like, most kids feel that way. I didn't. I kind of blamed my mom on being harsh. I remember, like, why can my mom do X, Y, and Z and my dad can't?
Right,
like, I told my grandfather that at my Baba at one point. And so, anyway. And then they started playing praise worship music, which is hype, like, worship gospel songs, and danced around. I remember thinking, like, what a fucking weird, like, of course I didn't use that language as a 7-year-old, but I remember thinking, why are we dancing? Like,
you just told me you're getting a divorce. Why are we acting happy?
Yeah,
that's weird.
That's pretty much it with that. And then I just remember, I think,
tell me some about, because early on you said that they claimed statutory rape if they wouldn't split up, and then they didn't anyway. So was there anything else that happened similar to that?
Oh, yes. So at one point, this might have been after them telling me, or my mom telling me about the divorce. It might have been a little bit before. But I remember them having tension and feeling the tension in the home already. So my dad came home from something, and I could tell he had a chip on his shoulder, and so did she. And my mom wouldn't let my dad inside. So they went outside and they were talking. Me and my sisters were sitting at the kitchen table. I have a memory like an elephant when it comes to shit like this. I'm
the same way.
So they went outside. She closed the door. And I remember trying to see, but I was so scared because I knew they were arguing. Mm-hmm. So I just sat back down with my sisters. My sisters were like coloring or messing with something. After about 2 minutes, my dad popped his head in and said, "Your mama called me a devil," and closed the door. And I could hear her like lifting her voice up, and then I hear again, "Your mama says I have demons." And my heart just started racing, because like I knew a little bit about that stuff and what we believed in demons and devils, and I was like, no, not my dad. Like
yeah, because they taught you all that in the church.
Yeah, like, why would he have that? Or, and because I loved him.
Yeah, of course.
And like, he was good to me, Yeah. So I always get emotional with this story.
Don't make me start crying on the podcast.
I get emotional with this story because this was, like, of course I'm fine, but like, that was such a traumatic experience for me. My mom comes, like, it wasn't a long distance, but she came around the corner really fast. It was like, "I'm calling the cops." And of course, like, I like ran after my dad, and like, we had a pretty long driveway, and he parked at the front of the house. And I told him, I said, "Mom's calling the cops." And I just remember looking at him, and he was so scared. And I was scared, and he just looked at me and like, like he didn't know what to do. And he like just took off super fast, and I just was sobbing. My mom came and got me and was like, "Come inside." And then the cops showed up, and I remember.
Where were you guys living at that point?
We were in Baker, Louisiana. I believe my grandfather built that house. I've only ever lived in places that my grandfather built. Did you know that?
No.
The apartments that they used to live in, my grandfather built that too.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Other than, of course, meeting you and SLW. He didn't build any of the shit. So, and when the cop showed up, I was so mad at the cop. I remember, like, just looking at him like, you better not, like...
Touch my dad.
No, you better not do anything like that. And I think she called my grandfather before, my baba, before he showed up and was like, Eric's coming here. And then my grandfather ended up showing up later. But Courtney did not cry. Abigail was screaming. I was like sobbing. Courtney had a stone cold face on. She was like,
wow.
Yeah. So, but that was like one of the most traumatic moments. So, but after that.
What was her reason for calling the police? Did she like try to say that there was something going on?
I guess she was scared of what like my dad was going to do, or she claimed one thing and I don't believe it. So
what was that?
That he hit her, but she's never had a bruise on her body.
No. And that'll line up later with the stories that we've been going through recently with your sister.
Yeah. So
kind of fabricating things to out of fear to get out of circumstances that she didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it was just them two. So
drama from the mama.
Dude, for real, like fuck that. So after that, it was just
after they split up. You want to tell me a little bit about that? Like how was your church involvement after that period?
Yeah. So
stuff like that.
After that, we became, if we weren't already going on Sunday and Wednesday, we were going like 3 times a day. Not literally, but like we were going almost to every opportunity that they had.
And where'd y'all go to school at growing up?
The church we went to had a school.
Y'all went to Bethany?
Yeah.
Church?
We went to school? Bethany. It became Bethany Church, and then we went to Bethany Christian School.
Wow, so you were really being indoctrinated.
Yeah.
Church, school,
and
home.
Yeah, everywhere. That's a lot. It becomes very cult-like when you're around the same people and you don't have anybody outside that bubble. So we went Mondays and Wednesdays
to church.
Did I say Monday? I meant Sunday and Wednesdays. And then I was going to school. And then they had something called cell group, which they would meet on like Fridays or Saturdays with other people who went to Bethany, and they'd meet up and hang out and things like that and talk about their faith and what God's doing. And I remember just loving being with kids. So for me, it wasn't like terrible at that moment. Or like,
as a child, you try to always look at every circumstance like through a good light, you know?
Yeah, like
make the best out of every circumstance kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And so I loved being with friends, and at the church they had...
What kind of practices did they have at those services? What was that like?
I think on Wednesdays it was more lax when it came to the worship. So they would dance and sing and run around and yell and wave flags and lay hands on people.
Did your mom do that stuff?
Yeah.
What would your mom do in a service?
She made flags, and also with the anointing oil, there's this place that you could order anointing oil from. And I'm kind of nasally right now.
That's okay.
From crying.
Was it hand pressed by holy people?
Dude, I don't know, but I don't think it came from Israel, but they made it look like it did. So, and there were like 12 fragrances or something like that, and my mom had like 2 or 3 of them given to her from friends because they were pretty expensive, because I believe they use real herbs and spices and
you said they were expensive. What did your mom do for work after the divorce?
She worked at the school at Bethany, I believe. No, I know she did, but yes, because I was 4th-ish grade. She worked at the school as a PE coach, and then, of course, I believe my grandparents helped. And then my
because they
dad,
built her a home that she was able to live in. She
Yeah.
didn't have to pay any
no,
any mortgage or
no.
insurance or anything.
no, I don't believe so. Um,
Did they get her a car and stuff like that?
I'm not too sure how she had a car. I remember having a Mitsubishi at one point and a van. But I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think later on they ended up helping her get a car. And she also used to, or she still does, she works for my grandfather. So that helped later on. And she had to earn her pay. And it wasn't very much in the beginning though. So,
How much did she make starting out with your grandfather?
I mean, he helped take care of us. My dad, okay, real quick. My dad did pay child support. So, yes, took care of us. But my grandparents would also help with clothes and extras and schooling and things like that. But it was nothing. Like,
Probably like what, 12, 15 an hour, something like that.
maybe, at that time, I
in
think.
the 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe $7, $8.
$7-8 an hour.
I believe so. And
Wow.
I'm sure somebody will correct me. Like, that's not true. But, it wasn't much. I remember her telling me that, like, I got, like, paid nothing when I started out. So.
Yeah. Which is kind of the culture in that side of the family.
Yeah,
like,
you have to earn
you have to prove yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
You start at the bottom of the barrel, work your way up.
But again, if I needed money, like, hey, I'm going to college, like, okay, here's a check. But after a while, he's like, girl, no. Because I was partying at one point.
Yeah.
So he's like, you'll have to figure it out. But that was the best thing he did for me, honestly.
Yeah, pay for your college?
Yeah, no. When he told me to go figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
And I did the Pell Grant and things like that. And I figured it out.
Yep.
And so anyway. But yeah, she worked with them after a while too, and we switched schools. We still went to Bethany, and then after a while we switched over to Healing Place, which is same sort of church, same practices, just less running around and things like that.
So they would use anointing oil.
Yes.
They would use flags. What did that stuff symbolize to them?
So each fragrance represented something different. Like there was one called Rose of Sharon, which had to do with, like, I believe Jesus's burial and coming up again. Correct me in the comments. And frankincense and myrrh was also that was the burial.
I wouldn't really worry about people correcting you about this stuff.
Okay, don't correct me then. Don't worry about it. But frankincense and myrrh meant something, and like there was one that was good for healing, like it represented healing, and there was one that, like, my grandmother one time put on my head, my ears, and something else. She's like, this represents the priestly things, so you'll hear better and see better, like things like that. So
did that help you hear and see better?
No, and I would always pray and ask, like, why can't I hear and see better? Like, why can't I hear the Holy Spirit more? I had some crazy ass dreams though. Like,
what were your dreams like as a child in your because you grew up primarily just in your mom's home, right? What was your dad's visitation like?
Every other weekend. And
wow.
And again, he worked a lot trying to keep up with child support that she didn't need.
Right.
So he worked a lot, so I was with my aunts.
So they buried him in bills to keep him busy, you think?
That's such a beautiful way to put it. Yep.
Because they didn't want his involvement much in y'all's lives growing up.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah.
So
he's not too poor now.
No, he's not. He's doing good. So yeah, they what was the question?
I was talking to you about what it was like with your dad.
Oh, with my dad, when I was with my my aunts, we had so much fun. And when he would come home at night, and
that was just every other weekend.
Yeah, I really stayed with either my Baba, my Monty, or my Aunt April.
So you said something about having nightmares.
Yes.
That was at your mom's house.
Mainly, yeah. Yeah, I would have nightmares of being chased by wolves in fields, or nightmares of my parents leaving me. A lot of times scary, like, figures would be in my dreams.
And you said you had a lot of fear early on from the way that your mom disciplined you.
Yeah, I think so. And just all the things that came with the spirituality and opening yourself up to those things. There was like, I had an experience. We were at a like a Benny Hinn thing, and I remember like he he would like wave his arm and people would pass out or whatever, like whole sections would, and I remember getting so sick to my stomach and I started convulsing.
Wow.
Yeah. And
maybe you had a demon.
Apparently, and that's what they said.
Nuh-uh.
They said it was a demon.
What the fuck? How old were you?
8.
Oh my
9?
gosh.
I might have been 10. I hated that shit. And so shit like that would happen to me
all the time. So
then
they started telling you that you had demons at 8?
Yeah, like it might have been, yeah. Like that's just the devil making you scared. Like tell him no. But it would be all the time. Like there'd be times I'd be just like shivering in my bed or like so, but yeah.
The people that were telling you that you had demons were the ones that were inciting the fear in you?
Yeah.
That's pretty jacked up.
Yeah. So, but they would, I don't think they'd come out and say like you have a demon, but they would say the demon's like on you.
Yeah.
Like I see the demon of fear on you. I see the demon of this on you.
Yeah.
So.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I know when I was 8, I just wanted to be shooting my BB gun and like.
I just wanted to go swimming, y'all.
Go fishing.
But swimming. I was scared to do shit after a while.
So you're indoctrinated from a really young age then.
Yeah.
So that's how you grew up at your mom's house.
Yeah, my mom was artistic too. She'd make bows for our hair and paint. She's very crafty and very good at it. But she also made flags.
She sounds crafty.
Pan it on here and zoom in.
DD.
So, but she made the flags herself, and each color represented something different and why it should be waved and things like that.
Yeah, that was kind of common at the church.
Common with her friends. Not everybody did that, and not everybody was allowed to do that. But
she was allowed to do it?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, her and Donna. Very few people could do it.
I guess they had to have.
And then they shut it down after a while.
They had to have their sorcerers and their witches.
Well, she got called up on stage one time by Brother Larry, and she made a big orange like flag, or Donna did, and they started waving it in the service.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but after a while it got shut down. I think that's when we moved to the other church.
Healing Place.
Yeah. So
whenever they stopped allowing her to wave flags and do that stuff, that's whenever she left the church?
I think so. It wasn't long after that, because I think other people tried to start waving flags and stuff like that, and it just got, like, from my understanding, they're like, it was getting out of control. You have to be called to... This was coming from my mom and Donna. Like, you have to be called to wave the flags. Not everyone's called to wave flags and things like that. Like, just like not everybody's called to lead worship.
Only special people.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, my grandmother used to play on the band back in like the 80s and stuff like that. She played the flute. And so our family tried to stay involved.
Well, I hear a little bit of celebrity Christianity in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you were important, then you could be someone that was allowed to do something.
I think that's why my mom kind of had like a little privilege or whatever. So,
which is weird because I don't remember Jesus ever being like that.
Yeah.
Looking to be in the limelight.
Yeah.
So that was the culture there. What were some of your restrictions as a child? Like, what were the rules in your house growing up?
That's a great question. At my dad's house or my aunt's, we could do anything and everything basically, to an extent. Like, don't jump off of blah 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 or whatever.
Right.
But I could pretty much watch what I wanted to. We'd go to Blockbuster, pick out movies PG-13, and my aunt was like, "What's the problem? Like, this is stuff I used to watch, eat whatever, and listen to whatever music." But at my mom's, I had to dress a certain way. I mean, they picked out our clothes, not every day, but like these are your outfits. No belly showing. Careful how low the shirt is. Skirts have to be like at a decent length. We couldn't
But
listen
you probably didn't even know what that stuff was until they started.
Until I was about
Te-
12.
Okay.
I started, like, my mom was like, you can't wear that because it's too low cut. I'm like, what? Why? Like, it's a bathing suit made for 12-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
why can't, and it wasn't a two-piece. I could only wear one pieces. And my cousins and my friends were all wearing tankinis and bikinis. And I was like,
Yeah.
why can't, and I was a chunkier kid when I was growing up. And
What'd that make you feel like?
it made me feel like I was fat. Like, oh, you're telling me I can't wear that because I'm fat. My sisters were littler than me, and I was going through puberty. So
Yeah.
I thickened up, and I hated my body growing up. I remember that, being like 6 years old and pulling at this part of my skin.
Oh.
Like, yeah. So, and being like, angry at my body and angry at myself for that. So, which is weird. I never understood why I thought that, because nobody told me anything, but it was just the culture within the home, So couldn't listen to anything. I remember one time my dad came home and was like, Jessica, listen to this. It was Santana, and he played it on the what do we call it then, the stereo.
A record player?
No, it wasn't a record. It was the stereo that had like the 6 disc players.
The 6 disc CD changer.
Yeah,
something like that.
And because I'm sure that was my dad's, because he was into all that kind of stuff. And he was like, Jessica, listen to this. And so he played it. And I remember being scared because, like, if mom sees me liking this, like, she's going to yell at me. And so he was showing Courtney the song. And so I went in there and said, Mom, he's playing this song. And she came out there and she's like, Eric, we're not playing that in this house. And I felt so bad, but I was so scared of being fussed at.
You were scared of being told that you were being wrong or disciplined.
And of course, he left not long after that because it was just like controlling. Yeah. So, but my dad's side knew, like, hey, like, Jessica can't.
So did your mom like change into this person?
I think so.
When she started having kids?
Yes, I would say so. Like, at one point, I don't know what happened.
She felt like a sense of responsibility to, like, I guess, raise y'all a certain way.
Yeah, because my grandparents
they were probably pressuring her.
Well, they actually took her and me from the home one day when my dad was gone, and he came home and he said everything was gone.
Oh, they took you guys from your dad's house?
The apartments, yeah.
Wow.
And he called one of my aunts, and he was just like sobbing, and she said, I had never seen your dad like that.
Wow.
To this day. He was so torn.
They took all the furniture and stuff too?
I was told they took everything. I don't know what that means.
I think
exactly.
your dad had told me that they took a lot of the furniture. Like, he came home and the house was just like empty.
Yeah.
Nobody was there, and he thought he had gotten robbed. I think that's what he said.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Which is so sad.
What a traumatic thing to go through as like a young father.
21, 22?
Wow.
22? Yeah. That is so young.
Crazy.
So,
and your grandparents facilitated that?
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
So, but yeah. So there was a lot of just hate and racism and just chaos and fear. So, but yeah.
So, you were pretty restricted as a child. Let's talk more about like ages 11, 12 as we kind of close out this episode.
Yeah.
And what that was like.
So again, when I was at my dad's house, I felt that I could be more myself. I was always like laughing and dancing and singing. But at home, I remember when my dad would bring us home, I would always get sick to my stomach because I was scared that I was going to be fussed at about something that I didn't do that she found.
Like so he was bringing you to your house?
Yeah, in Baton Rouge at this point. I mean. Yeah.
Did you feel that way going to his house?
No, I was so excited. I couldn't wait
you were relieved going to your dad's house and then going to your mom's.
I wanted to live with my dad at one point, but my mom was like, she would threaten to like send me to my dad's house, but then
Then she realized you had more fun over there, and she's like,
no, but she would say something along the lines of like, he wouldn't be there anyway, or like you would have a terrible time over there. Like, it's not going to be what you think.
So she was trying to paint, use your dad as a disciplinary tool of going to live with him, but then paint him as also not being a supportive father.
Yeah, like it was gaslighting is not the right word, but it was like, I'm going to send you to your dad's, but like it's just going to be like hell for you.
Yeah.
But I remember going to my dad's house some weekdays, and it'd just be me.
Really?
Yeah. And I would have coffee in the morning. I'd stay up as late as I wanted to. He'd send me to school on time.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'd be like, my stomach would be in knots because it's coffee. But that was like 6th grade, so 11, 12.
Looking back, would you say that your upbringing as a child and being more strict like that was good or bad as an adult?
I think it didn't make me into an adult. I feel like I've just become an adult within the last like 5 years, in an independent sort of way. And
so having all the decisions made for you, having your culture really confined with the people that you were only able to be around at the church, would you say that encapsulated you almost like as a child, even growing into an adult?
Yeah, I was always scared to make decisions.
Yeah.
All the time. I was always scared that if I make the wrong decision, then it's not the will of God, one way or another. Like, it's either God's will or it's not. And
Yeah.
I would go to hell, like, as I make these decisions.
And I can attest to that because
You've been married to me for 12.
We've been married for 12 years, and so
but yeah, I mean,
last 5 years is really when you started learning how to make decisions without me having to be the one that decided what we were going to do.
and again, later story, but that's what we were taught, that you should make these decisions,
Mm-hmm.
But again, 5 years old, I remember thinking, like, if I'm going to go to hell, might as well serve the devil already because I'm making such bad choices,
Yeah.
So
Did you think you were going to hell a lot?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the environment, and I'm sure you could talk about it more with Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames.
That was the culture at the church that you grew up at, was like, if you were a bad person, you were going to go to hell.
Yeah. Like, if you make one wrong decision right before you're about to die, that decision will make you go to hell.
Wow.
And I would have dreams that I was like in eternity, and that I saw the stairs going down to hell, and I saw like,
because they would depict that through dramas, through visual representation.
Yeah.
That you were basically going to hell if you didn't follow their rules.
Yep. And
Wow.
so I was always scared. Yeah. And I mean, again, having a lot of like quote unquote spiritual experiences growing up.
But not good ones.
Yeah. So I was always very nervous.
So if you could speak on what you would want to tell your younger self in navigating through those experiences, what would you say?
Don't listen to them.
Sorry, that was just my demon talking. I would say that in a lighter tone, maybe. Like, just be yourself. Like,
Yeah.
And you don't have to be scared to just live your free life and enjoy. Because I was such a lighthearted, like, kids are so pure.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I became not that
Yeah.
through the experiences,
And from what I know of God, he's not one to make his love conditional on whether you are a quote unquote good or bad person, if you wear the wrong thing, if you don't listen to the right music, if you.
Yeah.
So they're almost painting a picture of the opposite of what God is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Who would that be?
Who would that be? Yeah.
Who would that be?
That gets more into the manipulation and the twisting of the truth, pointing the finger at others as being the quote unquote devil, when in actuality they are the ones who are inciting fear, inciting torment, keeping you imprisoned mentally, so that you're not able to grow and mature as an adult who's self-thinking.
Yeah.
And in addition, what I saw was having some self-hatred.
Oh, yeah. My God, yeah.
That actually is disguised as humility.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of that for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot for episode 1. I think we're at an hour, a little over an hour, so we'll trim it up. But
yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yeah, thank you.
And next episode is going to be my childhood, which I grew up at the same church with a lot of the same experiences. I was just raised in the country as opposed to in the city, so I have a little bit of a different spin on my story. So stay tuned in. We're going to release these videos every Sunday, almost as like a mock-up church service. And then on Wednesdays, we're going to follow up with the teaching of why these things are not biblical and what you should believe about God instead, as opposed to the culture that a lot of us were raised in.
Yeah. So, first episode.